So we must talk about how we lost to the Green Bay Packers yesterday. I'm gonna be using clips from old games due to copyright, like I always say. But man, I don't know. I was ready to make a great video for y'all. I thought we was gonna literally like cook the Packers. I thought we had that game easily, and we ended up losing to the Green Bay Packers. Man, a lot of people predicted it so easy to the point where we look like frauds at this point. We look like frauds. Offense didn't do bad, but turnovers and penalties once again. A lot of missed calls against us, but I'm not gonna make excuses. Lack of execution, man. It's really been Reed and Nagy, man, and a lot of this is also Veach's fault that we can't really find our identity. It's really Brett Veach's fault. Nagy, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's his purpose. I don't know if I don't know what's happening with Nagy. But Pacheco had a good game. At least that's something we could look at. Defense had a bad game, but it was a lot of injuries, and defense is gonna break down eventually. But Andy Reid has also been very still with the play calling. I feel like Andy Reid hasn't been himself. Matt Nagy's definitely not helping him. Eric Bieniemy wasn't a bad offensive coordinator. A lot of people shitted on Eric Bieniemy because he was too strict or whatever, or he acted a certain way. But he's turning Sam Howell into an MVP candidate. And I'm not going to say MVP candidate, but he's turning Sam Howell into a very good player that's leading the league in yards, or at least top 3. And that goes to show you that Eric Bieniemy was a legit offensive coordinator, and now he's stuck here with Matt Nagy and Andy Reid, who's clearly, I don't know what's going on with Reid. He's clearly being stubborn. And Brett Veach is also a big reason why Kels is not Kels, because look, Kels, he's been himself, but he's been getting triple teamed, and nobody's capitalizing off his triple teams. We should have had a veteran wide receiver, or something to bring into this room to make everything easier for Travis Kelce and just the Kansas City Chiefs in general. And when we talk about this defense, Tranquill got hurt, Cook got hurt, a lot of dudes was getting hurt yesterday. Snead was just getting absolutely cooked. I don't know what got into Snead yesterday, but bro was getting cooked. McDuffie even was getting cooked. We barely was bringing any pressure until the second half. And even that wasn't really good enough because Jordan Love was making circus throws and stuff, man. So it was honestly an ugly game. It was a very ugly game. And that's not what you want to see going forward. Next week we play the Buffalo Bills, who's a very good football team. Well, when they want to be. And we know they're going to try their hardest against us. So that's a game we just have to win, man. Take a look at the numbers from last night's game. Patrick Mahomes, 210 yards, man, with only one passing TD. It's not looking good for Pat. He's still having a good season, but this is not the Mahomes we know, honestly, bro. He's already had 2 100-yard games this year. He's barely getting TDs like he used to. What's going on, man? Pat is uncomfortable with this team, and I don't like to see this happening to my star quarterback. It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. I don't think I'm going to put a beat on this video because, honestly, I just don't want to. Rashee Rice, 64 yards. So Rashee Rice is still having good games. And even if I still feel like he wasn't out there enough, Isaiah Pacheco, amazing game, 110 rushing yards. Pacheco is a dog. We have to keep Pacheco out there. 18 carries. We got to keep giving him, these carries, man. Kels, 81 yards, but after that, it gets pretty bad. Noah Gray, 2 yards. MVS, 25. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 14 total. Richie James, 12 yards. Sky Moore, 5 yards. Kadarius Toney, 6 yards. Justin Watson, 0 yards. So it gets very, very bad. After that, man, I just don't know what to say at this point. I really don't know what to say. And if you go to the Green Bay Packers stats, Jordan Love with a stellar game, 267 yards, 3 TDs, 0 interceptions. Got Love looking like a god out there. Christian Watson absolutely cooked us, 7 receptions for 71 yards. Dobbs, 4 receptions for 72 yards. Devontae Wicks, 43 yards. Datavion Wicks, 43 yards for 3 receptions. Jaden Reed, he didn't really do nothing but 4 receptions still. A.J. Dillon, 87 total yards. Um, yeah, we absolutely got cooked. They beat us on time of possession. They beat us in yards. They beat us in red zone trips. They run the turnover battle. So, at the end of the day, it's not, it's just, it is what it is, man. The Packers outplayed us and they played better than us, but we have to pick it up. We got to be more consistent. It can't be this inconsistent throughout the season because, we're getting close to the playoffs at this point. We're getting close to the playoffs, and you don't want to keep playing like this. The playoffs are right around the corner. You want to keep the Arrowhead Invitational going, but if we're gonna be playing like this, man, it's really, the chances are really looking slim. Next week we play the Buffalo Bills, and we know it's gonna be a competitive one, but you don't want to lose that. You don't want to go 12-5. Don't want to go to the wild card game because in the wild card game we could potentially be facing the Indianapolis Colts, and we know how those games go. We don't want to face the Colts in the wild card. We don't. Even though we could still win, Mahomes beat them before, but we just know we just know that's upset worthy, bro. But Mahomes in the playoffs is different. I do trust Mahomes in the playoffs, but this team also have to figure it out because this isn't a playoff ready team in my opinion. And I would stand corrected that I did get tricked by that Raiders game, thinking we was so back. And then this week, the offense go out there and disappoint, man. The penalties got to be limited. The O-line has been a very weak point to this team. Mahomes is getting sacked. The penalties, like the O-line has to fix up, man. They have to fix up. And we have to stop with these penalties. Gotta stop with these turnovers. Scott Moore ran his route bad. Mahomes, I don't know. They have no connection. Like, you gotta just keep Scott Moore benched. Mahomes has no connection with him. Statistically, Mahomes is the worst quarterback when he's targeting Scott Moore of all time. So that's going to show you what you need to know. But, it is ways to fix this team. It is ways to get in that playoff mode. Defense, they can't even have a bad game because our offense is so, hopefully the defense, they somehow don't have another bad game. But I can't even blame them for having a bad game. And they've been holding it down all year. The offense has to lock in. If we just limit them turnovers, like I said, limit them penalties. Refs not giving us calls. Not sure we can really do about that. There's nothing we can do about that. So he's got to play our perfect, our perfect game of football, and get to the playoffs, which we will. And then from there, we just lock in and we get into that mode, man. But you don't want to lose next week to Buffalo. You don't want to give them confidence because they beat us. That's going to be their game for them to win out. And next thing you know, we have Buffalo in the playoffs. So we got to beat Buffalo in their season, put them in the coffin. And we just keep moving on, man. We face the Raiders and the Chargers again. That's 3 potential L's, Raiders, Chargers, and Buffalo. You don't want to lose to a divisional rival again. And you don't want to get upset by the Raiders or the Chargers. And you don't want to lose to Buffalo next week, man. You can't lose to no AFC teams. You've only lost to one, and that was the Denver Broncos in a fluke upset. So let's keep being AFC teams. And Chiefs priority, and I'm out, man. Peace.